Habari gani, habari gani, habari gani. Habari gani, y'all. Kujichagulia. Habari gani, y'all. Kujichagulia. Ashe. Today is the second day of observance of Kwanzaa. And I begin by lighting the unity candle, which represents Umoja, which kicked off the celebration of the cultural observance of African American people. And I like to expand it to African diasporan people. Today, we acknowledge and honor the principle of Kujichagulia. So we light. We light the second candle of Kwanzaa. This is our Kwanzaa altar in our home. We light the second candle of Kwanzaa, and we will be live every day as the Pink Rope Chronicles and the Clearing Community to give us just an observance, a brief reflection. And today, as we acknowledge Kujichagulia, which means self-determination, to define ourselves, name ourselves, and create for ourselves and speak for ourselves. It is the second principle of Kwanzaa, the second principle of the Nguzo Saba. It demands that we as African people define, defend, and develop ourselves instead of allowing or encouraging others to do this. My goodness. It requires that we recover lost memory and once again shape our world in our own image and interest. And it is also a call to recover and speak our own special cultural truth to the world and make our own unique contribution to the forward flow of human history. Elder Audre Lorde talks about it like this: if I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies for me and eaten alive. Kujichagulia. So in honor of being a self-determining person, in honor of being a self-determining collective, in the words of one of our urban griots, urban hip-hop poets, Jay-Z, allow me to reintroduce myself. Being raised as it is one of our cultural practices, when we enter a space, we do so announcing ourselves. At least I grew up never being able to enter a space without speaking, without saying hello. And so as an example of what it means to define myself in community, and I hope that upon hearing, you will take a moment to define yourself and make a public declaration of who you are. Also as a way of speaking and standing against or at least acknowledging the ways that we have been miseducated, if you will, by a Euro-centered educational system and praxis that would seemingly make us believe that we have no culture and or history, and also by a Euro-centered Christian and theological practice that would make us think that Black folk have always and only ever been Christian, which is not the case. We know that Black faith is very diverse. It is not a monolith. And so many of us have fallen victim to the trappings of that. And while we know Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday, it is a cultural observance. I feel that it is important for us to name who we are in all facets, including faith. And so here is my declaration. Here is my observance of Kujichagulia. Here is my witness to self-determination and my identity. I am a womanist inspired by the revolutionary witness of the African Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach. Jesus. To be womanist for me is to be both Afrocentric and Afrofuturist. It is to make as a central starting point and viable subject Black African cultural and spiritual traditions, to not only imagine but perform as a living and breathing Black future, wherein salvation lies within Black women's lived experiences and prophetic utterances. I am inspired by the sacred feminine wisdom tradition within the Yoruba religion of Ifa. I am an ordained minister in the Progressive Baptist denomination, a ruling elder in the Presbyterian USA denomination, and a former member of the Gallaudet Society, a spiritual work group dedicated to the Iyami, the Great Mothers. I am a curator of digital religious space and a ritualist who embodies what Dr. Monica Coleman terms womanist ashe, spiritual power invoked by Black women for our well-being from traditional and unconventional sources to unfetter ourselves and our communities from the vestiges of interlaced oppressive systems. I am a preacher who preaches in the names of Olodumare and Yahweh, in the names of Jehovah and Nzambi and Pungu, nothing is greater than, in the names of Yeshua and Shango, in the names of Mary and Oshun. I preach not to save sinners from external forces of evil, but to emancipate many from the church industrial complex where souls desiring redemption are on lockdown and pews beholden to tragic theologies, where Jesus is a bearded white man and God is a neo-Nazi moving folks to build walls of exclusion instead of bridges of collective work and responsibility, and the pulpit is an exclusive symbol of phallic power that excludes non-cisgender, non-heterosexual, and non-male bodies. In short, I am a spiritually malleable Black preaching woman. I study and theorize about other spiritually fluid Black preaching and multi-religious women who curate digital space. Kujichagulia. Self-determination. I am who I am. We are who we are. I invite you during the course of this week to consider who you are, to write it down, who you are individually and who you are in the collective. Gather your family around a meal. Gather your family around to discuss who you've been, who you are, and who you are becoming. Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia. Self-determination. It is our duty, our responsibility to fight and to re-member and to name ourselves for ourselves. Ashe,